Yeah, I thought the game looked like really cool. Like obviously the inspirations are fairly obvious.
Mm,
It's a movement game. It's
of
a boomer
course.
shooter. Like all of these, like none of these are like super original ideas unto themselves. But I think that the
No.
combination like works really well.
hmm Yeah, I mean, I think people over like originality is a little bit overrated in my opinion. It might be a hot take in video games, or clearly it is a hot take. But I think the execution of an idea is infinitely more important than the idea itself.
Well, just at like a fundamental level, right? If you think of what the biggest MMO in the world is, World of Warcraft, it's
Mm,
not an original game. Like it might be a game that now it's like sort of seen as like the thing that inspired so many other games, but when that came out,
mm,
it was taking what a lot of other games before it were already doing and then sort of bringing the most polished version of that out. And
mm,
a lot of Blizzard's early games were like that. Like Diablo wasn't the first ARPG; it was a
mm,
very polished ARPG, or StarCraft, or Warcraft, or Overwatch when that came out. Hero shooters weren't new, but it was a very polished take on
mm.
that model. And I think taking a really good idea and sort of putting a different spin on it, but trying to do that idea in the best way possible, that in and of itself is a really cool thing. So many games that people love aren't really an original concept. They might have an original art style or some new game mechanic, but everything is built on top of other works that have been done in the past.
Yeah, 100%. I think the reality is that human beings conceptualize ideas relative to the things they've seen in the past.
Mm-mm.
And so whenever people see a game, they immediately think about, well, what is this similar to that
Mm.
I've played, you know? And so sometimes people mistake that familiarity with copying another game, especially when you just see like a 10-second clip
Right.
of gameplay and you're just like, well, okay, this is identical to this other game. But I mean, how many first person shooters are just Doom with extra steps, you know?
Right.
It's all just inspired by previous works.
So the post that I saw it from, I have a link to it right now. It was a fairly
hmm
innocuous post you made. It's just, I think is that just the video that's on the Steam page?
Uh yeah, I think I actually replaced the Steam page video
Ah,
with
okay.
that one.
Right, right.
Yeah,
But it's just, hey, Blood Vial, retro
gameplay.
FPS, leaking health bar, like, showing off the game, totally normal. But for some reason, it got a lot of attention, and that's cool,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure it's cool that the game got a lot of attention, and
Mm.
I did see you post the Steam wish list, and it's just like spiked up a bit. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
how does how does it feel to firstly have a post, because it's not the first time you've had a post get a bit of attention, but how does it feel that a game
Mm.
that you've made firstly gets enough attention that people like want to give their feedback on it, but
Mm.
then as well as that, what does it feel like to sort of, I guess, have people feel like you're just not really doing anything new, that there's yes, I had enough time in my day to comment, but it's not something that at least some people feel like is providing more value, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's it's a great question. It doesn't feel great. I think the
Mhm.
first time, um, for context, this is not my first game. I built games in the past. Well, one particular game in the past, and a very similar thing happened there, where I would post gameplay videos on TikTok,
That one being
and in
Spring
its
Dash.
Spring Dash, yeah, which was originally spring and fall, and it like most of the people thought it was a clone of a Dani game, Carlson.
Hmm.
They all just thought it was like the exact same thing. Yeah, I think people. The reality is, right, if you make a post and it has people hating on it, that's a sign in a way that you've made it, right? Like it's easy to make a post where everyone's just like really supportive,
Well, it's even
and
easier to make a post that no one cares about, and
exactly.
no one even knows is a post.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like levels to it, right? You can make a post that nobody even comments on. You make a post that you only get positive comments on. That's generally like the first step is people that either follow you already or just have like a positive feeling towards you that are commenting on it.
Mhm.
Once you start getting negative posts, I've started to try to associate that with, okay, this is a good thing. Like it's reaching an audience beyond who just follows me, beyond who just cares
Mm.
about my projects. This is now reaching the general public, I suppose. It's escaped like game dev Twitter and gone to public Twitter, and it's
Mm.
gone to the gamers. And the thing about gamers is that nobody hates games more than gamers, right? So they see something that they're like, oh, this is, I'm sick of this type of game. And instead of just not playing it, they have to have some negative opinion that they want to share and make very well known.
Mhm, mhm,
So it's hard, and I have to try to let go and try not to engage too much with these people, but it's
mhm.
it's so tempting to get into these arguments.
Mm.
And I don't know if you saw actually, there's a couple of these little back and forths that I've had with various people.
Let's go to the replies.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Um, wait, let's see.
I think my
Oh wait, no,
favorite one.
this is a different one. This is someone complaining about it being satanic.
That's a whole other thing. I mean, yeah, my game has, shooting people in the face and then swimming through their blood, and
Mhm,
you're holding a vial of their blood. But the
mhm.
little pentagram on the wrist, that's just a step too far, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's an odd take, I think.
Okay, this is a positive one. Looking forward to your game. Hope my shitty PC can run.
Yeah, performance is an interesting one. I got to keep working on that. I think it'll be
Okay.
okay, but we'll see.
I can't find any like specific ones in here. I might be able to find
Yeah,
something afterwards. But what's an example of like something you talk about here?
someone said, can somebody ban indies from using the word
Oh
retro?
yes,
Yeah, that
yes.
was my favorite one, and I replied saying, "I'm sorry if I offended you."
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and we just had like a little back and forth, but essentially what it was this person was really sick and tired of these kinds of games. And the analogy I made was if I was sick of eating burgers, I would just stop eating burgers. I
Right.
wouldn't be complaining that chefs continue to make burgers. I think the thing is like my view is that there's room for multiple games to exist, even if fundamentally they're the same, because the subtle differences between them is actually what makes it interesting. I want a
Mhm,
variety of the same type of game. Like that's what a genre is, right?
mhm,
It's the same type of game with small tweaks that make them different enough that you want a bit of variety.
mm. I can understand like feeling like there's too many. I don't even know where this guy is
Mm,
getting the idea that there's too many games in the genre. Like, yeah, there's you definitely have your big titles like your Ultra Kill and stuff like that, but
mm,
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm hearing about a new like boomer shooter game every day. Like I was paying attention to the gaming space back when like Hollow Knight was coming was coming out. And yeah, I think you could reasonably say there is a lot of platformers at the time. There's
mm.
always a lot of platformers. Platformers are usually one of like the first projects that someone ends up making.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there's that many like boomer shooters. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm
No,
not looking
I'm
for them.
with you, mate. I'm honestly with you. Like, and people go even more specific than that. People were saying there are too many post-void clones. So people recognize the draining health, which
Mm.
is like the key, I guess, differentiator from your standard boomer shooter. They recognize the draining health and they go, "Oh, there's too many of those." And I was like, I can name maybe two or three. And there's tens of thousands of games released every year on Steam. So two or three out of tens of thousands is too many. I
do
don't know.
do the AIDS in Far Cry 2 count? Maybe.
I don't know, man. I mean, it depends. It depends
Sorry,
how
malaria.
flexible
It
you
was
want to
so
be.
you had malaria in
Yeah, yeah,
Far Cry 2.
malaria.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh god, I haven't played Far Cry 2 in ages. It's a good game
yeah.
though.
Yeah, no, like I I don't know. I think it's cool, right? I think it's cool that the game's getting attention, and I when you said getting negative attention, it's sort of it feels like the game is breaking out of your regular audience. I
Mm,
think that's sort of a better way to interpret the idea of, all publicity is good publicity. People say this as like
mm.
just a it's just assuming that that's just always true, and it's definitely not,
It's not.
right? Like if people find out about you because, they think you're a murderer, right? Like that's
Mm.
generally not a good thing.
No.
But if people are seeing the game who aren't interested in the game, that means you've you have broken out of that audience. That means that,
Mm.
and this happens with uploading videos on YouTube. And I will see this when I put a video out that does really well. Like my core audience will say some things, maybe they'll have some criticism of it, and it then breaks out into the next group. And maybe it's like, yeah, they kind of generally vibe with it. Then if it hits like a more general tech audience, I immediately know that's the case because the comments just turn to absolute hell, and it's just nothing that's relevant to the video, or it's complaining about things. And I know for a fact that these are not people that would normally be seeing what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. So you've noticed it too. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a healthy way to try to interpret that negative attention. As long as you're getting like a mix of views.
Mm-hmm.
Um, although I will say that generally the people who have negative things to say are a little bit louder.
Mm-hmm.
They're the vocal minority, but at the same time, like that boosts engagement, right? So it gets shown to the people who will like it.
Mm-hmm.